pen. There we go.
Indeed.
Hey man, so you was talking about your homie that had colon cancer, man. It's just that's outside, man.
Yeah,
my PTSD be fucking. But you were saying you had seen like somebody with the same symptoms.
I definitely have seen like a very close relative, somebody I was tapped in with, very close. It was my kid's grandfather actually,
Okay.
And like he was like a dad to me, you know what I'm saying? But I seen him go from like the most jolliest, big belly, 250-pound person to shit damn near 140 pounds.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the bed, he couldn't smoke cigarettes. He couldn't even have the sun kiss that he loved. You know what I'm saying? Because it had caffeine in it. And it was just a lot of stuff. So it definitely prevented me from when I started having symptoms from wanting to go to the doctor. You know what I'm saying? It made me want to. I had made a decision like, you know what, I'm gonna just let fate run its course, and I'm just gonna live the best life I could, But I also had to figure out that, the doctor's not the police. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm also not Superman.
So leading up to that, was there like, what kind of like life were you living as far as health-wise, nutrition?
I wasn't really, I want to say like, my nutrition was kind of like all over the place, to be honest. Like, I still love my fried foods. I still love my southern food from time to time, heavy butters, but when I started having like small symptoms, what I would do was I started doing these cleanses because I didn't know what they were. So I would go on these juice cleanses, and because I was having this abdominal pain. And then once I would do that, it would kind of like subside and go away. And for a long time, honestly, what I thought it was like gas from like the butter and the milk and stuff that I was eating, the cheeses. So I would start cutting them out to get some relief. But I think the main, in hindsight, one of the things that once I got diagnosed, the thing that I noticed the most is that the pain was in the same spot. Gas moves, right? But the pain was in the same spot every single time. And so I think that was one of the things that kind of pushed me to be on like, I think I gotta go get this checked out.
And if you don't mind me asking, where was the pain? Just so if somebody hears this, they're like, okay, I might be having the same thing. Let me go get this checked out.
You know what? It was like in my lower abdominal.
Okay.
Like where the mass was, it was right by. It was in the first portion of my large intestine.
Okay.
So it's right by the appendix too. So when I went in, they actually thought it was like appendicitis at first. And I noticed that the pain was never moving. So, I actually asked them for a second opinion to look at it and give me a second opinion. And then that's when I got my doctor, Dr. Peoples, that came in and was like, yo, you really got something.
So, I'm glad. Did you feel like, I guess you went to the second opinion, did you do that for confirmation, or was it because you didn't feel like you were being listened to?
You know what? That's the part, and that's the part where I say like, the doctors aren't the police.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in order for them to give me a right diagnosis, I had to give them the truth. And so when they would ask me, you smoke? Nope. You drink? Nope. You eat bad food? Nah, I eat good. Honestly, it wasn't that they weren't listening. I wasn't giving the right information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't
get
being
it.
truthful and I wasn't giving the right information, honestly.
Yeah, because it's all it takes that right doctor sometimes, a nurse. Because I remember going to and I hate going to the VA, man, but I know I gotta go because it's just so depressing there. But for the first time, I had a nurse that I felt like saw me, like a black woman, talking reassuring, because we nervous when we go in there. She's like, hey, this is what's gonna happen. This is like this or whatever, and encouraging. So I feel like this was needed because you never. And even I've had to learn, even when I was a social worker, like you never know what that client is going through.
Oh no, you never do. And I think that was another thing that was significant for me was having the closeness with my doctor. Colon cancer, like again, you don't get tested for it until you're 50. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was 32 at the time, so the idea that it was colon cancer wasn't an idea. But my doctor, Dr. Peoples, when she walked in, she was a white woman actually. But when she walked in, she really cared because I was so young. And when I looked at her, she was very young herself. You know what I'm saying? Like she probably was maybe 30, maybe late 30s when I met her. But she looked very young too. So it's like, you know, we kind of created a connection because like she saw me, you know what I'm saying? And I actually felt comfort in her, you know what I'm saying?
Bad. So what would you say was during the process, how long would you say the process was? Like just from like diagnosis to treatment?
Shit, man, like honestly, it was real quick, dude, to be honest, because I mean, it was a serious situation, so they wanted to react quickly. So honestly, I postponed the treatment maybe 2 weeks because I wanted to get confirmation that I had the proper time, with my job and stuff like that. And one of the really great things that my hospital at the time had was they had implemented this new program. Instead of throwing people directly into surgery, they prep their bodies for surgery. So like there was like a week program where they gave you all the nutrients, like all these protein shakes to kind of like build your body up, because what we don't understand is like when we go into surgery, like our body goes into shock, and you know, a 4 or 5 hour surgery it takes a toll on the body too. So it also has an effect on how you recover. You know what I'm saying? So like they gave me like all type of stuff, man, all these treatments, all these pills, like not pills but like vitamins. They gave me like a diet to put myself on just so my body had the carbohydrates and things like that to carbohydrates and stuff to actually withstand like that type of shock.
So what would you say was, now were you afraid before the surgery?
You know what? Honestly, I was not very afraid until the day before my surgery. I think that was the first time I like cried and was scared. You know what I'm saying?
Now, did you have somebody you felt like you could talk to about that, or was there any in your life, or?
No, man. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. When I look back on it, like I really didn't talk to anybody about it. Honestly, I really didn't talk to anybody about it during it or after it much. You know what I'm saying? I didn't talk to many. Like I didn't let people know that I was going into the doctor and it was a serious situation. But I didn't want. I'm gonna be honest. I think what helped me keep my sanity in it is that I didn't have to continuously talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people asking the same questions and like, hey, everything okay? What's going on? Like, just to have to repeat that conversation, I knew it was going to be difficult because it was going to always be a reminder. You know what I'm saying? While you're going through it, it's like, you don't want to be reminded that you broke when you broke.
Right. So we'll go ahead and like start closing things out. I've asked, what lesson did you take away from that whole experience?
You know, one of the biggest lessons I learned was, like I said, don't. The police. I mean, the doctors are not the police. That was the number one for me. The second one would be, you know, take care of yourself. Be careful. Like be protective of the things that we put in our bodies. And that leads into the last one, which was most important, was like. What we do to our bodies and what we do to ourselves affect the people in our lives too, right? So like my purpose of being here, my children, my family who depend on me, the people that rely on the gifts and the things that I have to offer to the world, like they would miss out because I was just trying to have fun have a good meal, have fun from one time to time. So like not being true to my purpose. You know what I mean? Like the purpose was more important than the bottles or the club or the food or all that stuff. Like family and stuff like that was important.
I'm definitely learning the importance of the women in my life, like the ones that, or just people in general that care. And like I have to tell these fellas, man, like we do some wild stuff. We got to learn to work, because we all need each other. Like I know, especially as men, we go,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be like, hey, have you eaten? Are you good? You taken care of? Like, so you can keep on going. So we definitely need more of that. We need more like, making sure that checking in, making sure we're good. So
not only that, we definitely need our brothers to check in too.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think the one thing that I really did find out is that, by me being diagnosed so early, that, a lot of this stuff is genetics too. So like the crazier part about it is I never knew my father, so I didn't know if there was a genetic trace to it. But now that I was diagnosed at 32, my sons have to be 22 when they go get their first colonoscopy. So they have to go 10 years earlier from when I got diagnosed.
Man, I had one at 18, man. That's I got to get another one. But I'm like, the prep,
No,
prep.
you know what? That's the crazy part. Like, I was very afraid of that too. But I think the worst part about it is the prep, because they get you to sleep.
Everything else
sleep. You're like, you don't know what's going on.
You're getting raped and you don't even know it, man. You sound like
it's funny. One of the jokes. It's funny. When I'm scared. Like I love this story, man. Like my doctor, she's so young and I was so young, and the seriousness of the situation. And so right before my surgery, she walked in and she had like, I could tell she had been crying.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And she was like real sad and concerned. And she like, with the softness, like, Johnathan, are you okay? Is everything all right? And I'm like, honestly, doctor, I'm gonna be asleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you okay? I need you to be straight. I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm gonna be asleep, but I need you to be straight. So you gotta get your shit together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like the military, man. Like that's what I miss about my brothers, man. We didn't have time to like you got your sad moments and shit. But like, get your ass up. Like we gotta be gonna be great. Let's go.
I think the one thing that's been great about, especially with some of the stuff that you're doing now, is you're understanding that like, those things were important for us, but then they also were things that set us back too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the importance of actually, having those moments and having a space to have therapy and talk to somebody and to find out, that you're not alone in this, and there's other people that want to support you too. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really important. Like, we definitely have been taught to like keep pushing, but sometimes you need to stop.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You need to stop and reassess, and then keep pushing that, or sometimes readjust. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But that's definitely important too.
Gordon, bro, I appreciate you. We're gonna close out. Anything you want to leave with the people? Anything about health? Anything what's going on in your world?
Listen,
anything?
go to the doctors, man. Go to the doctor. I think one of the other things that I really want to point out is, follow my Instagram. It's Johnathan Crawford. That's JOHNATHAN. Crawford spelled the regular way. I'm an art curator. And listen, we're about to bring something new to the city.
Yes, sir.
We're definitely about to bring something new to the city. But man, I appreciate you.
Man, appreciate you, bro.
Therapy, man.
Thank
this guy is
you.
amazing, dog. I love this dude, man. Every time I see you, it's a good time.
Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. All right.
That's it.